No other engineers hanging out in the places that I was hanging. None. They were not. They were working in some cubicle designing missiles for World War IV. Right? Unless you have a teacher that can speak to this and can speak to this through their own lives, this won't work in your school. All right? I can't tell you how many superintendents have tried to take this and install it in the schools without me because they say, "Oh, he's some black kid, we don't need him. We're real teachers." It won't work. All right, it just won't work. So I for years I didn't want to. I used to see this happen, and I didn't want to say anything, but I have to be clear about it, right? So, and again, this is. So glad I had the thought again. So this is to create the second half of the technology company, which is called a unicorn. All right, a unicorn is a tech company in Silicon Valley that's doing $1 billion in sales in its first year. All right, and unicorns are full of disruptors. See, this is the founder of the unicorn and the unicorn, Spotify, Nvidia, right? And this is and they call it the origin story. The origin story of the founder and the product. All right. And this is what goes, not only can you read the Wall Street Journal, you can also write a business plan quick. So when I come into schools and the kids can't get through a business plan, once I show them this, and they obviously, and they listen to me, they can write a business plan in a few days. All right? So, I just want to say that this is something, I think that this is incredibly empowering. All right? You literally, if God willing, the black community were to actually take this and run with it, in 10 years, 5 to 10 years, the black community would be just as feared as China. I can guarantee you that. Because black people invent everything anyway. All right? God forbid you give something like this to black children that are supposed to be not smart, and give them this, and they start to understand how to read the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times. That's it. It's over. The word nigger is going to be done from the English language and done from their vocabulary. It's over. All right. So so I just want to say that this is a highly empowering thing for our people. Right. So second thing I also want to say is that, if you're saying, hey, how do I know this is true? There's a movie called Margin Call, right? All the finance guys on Wall Street, they say that if you come into an interview and you're interviewing for a job at Morgan Stanley, and you haven't watched that movie Margin Call, interview's over. Get out of my office. It's tantamount to not hearing or not watching the movie Wall Street. Right, Gordon the Gecko, not knowing who Gordon the Gecko is. It's tantamount to that. All right, Margin Call and The Big Short are two movies that you should watch in the finance world. And guess what? 90% of the people working in the risk management department, which is what models help us do, are engineers. All right. So just as a proof, go and watch the movie Margin Call right now. Margin Call. And when one of the engineers, a rocket science, stays in the office one night and realizes that the entire company is about to go into the dumps and they're about to lose all the money, they're holding assets on their books, they're holding commodities on their books that have no value, right? And we talked about value have no value, right? And they decide they have to dump them the next day. They stay up all night, and they come in, crisis fly in, helicopter, and like, we've got to sell all this stuff up because before anybody else realizes that all of the stuff that we're selling them has no value, we've got to sell it to them right now at $100, because if they figure out that our products have no value because the real estate market is about to crash in 2008, we won't be able to sell it for a cent on the dollar. So let's dump it now at $100 a share and give it to them, let them hold on to it, because we have to survive. The engineer that figures this out and calls his boss into the office, he says verbatim, well, I've been working on this model, and look at the model. It shows that he uses the word model, right? So I'm trying to say this, I'm trying to tell you that no one is going to tell you this. No one told me this. I'm only telling you this is because I want to empower the black community quickly. All right? So, again, this is not some YouTube guy trying to sell you a bag of goods that's not real. This is reality. If you go to anybody that works in finance or engineering and show them this video, they're going to say, yeah, he's telling the truth. All right? This will put you right on par with people who are making $300,000, $400,000 a year. If you show your children this and they're in elementary school and you do this with them until they graduate from high school, they will be accepted to every Ivy League school in the country and they will be given jobs, $300,000, $400,000 a year to run risk management. They'll be making a lot of money if you do this. I figured this out late. You know it now, right? So in closing, I want to say, for all those teachers out there, right, especially black female teachers, because black men I don't have problems with. Black men, when I show this to black men and they realize that this is true and the Department of Education is withholding this information from them, black men don't like this. Black men they act on it quickly. Most of them, all right? But black women in the media right now are talking about how black men, there's a small pool of black men out there that are bosses, that make enough money to take care of them, blah, blah, blah. Black men are lazy, black men are... Well, this is a lesson in how to make a money machine, right? Which I'm not sure if anybody... I don't know what planet you're on if you can't see that this is real, all right? If you don't like it so much, if you don't like the condition that black men are in, and if you don't want black boys to grow up with your daughters and for your daughters to be in the same situation, then why, respectfully, this is an opportunity for you to do something about it. Despite the fact that you may not like me, this is an opportunity for you to fix this in a very short amount of time. So, if the public school system continues to do nothing, then I make a plea to parents, because the public schools may not, and it looks like they're not going to do this, all right? But I don't think Donald Trump and Project 2025 can ban you from reading the Wall Street Journal. If they find out that all black schools are reading the Wall Street Journal and teaching black children to create disruptors and unicorns, nowhere under Project 2025 are they going to be able to stop that. They're not. They're not. All right? So this is an opportunity. If you don't like what Donald Trump is professing, and if you don't like the conditions in the ghetto, and you don't like that there's not enough black men to take you to Ruth Chris Steakhouse and treat you like a princess, this is an opportunity for you to do something about it.